about something that happened with you. And I want you to tell the story about one of your coaches. And you learned this lesson. And, you know, everyone, whether it's being a public speaker like you are, or something that you learn as you're playing, everyone needs something like a foundation. And I'll use this word like a mantra to live by. And once you find that mantra, you know, life begins to kind of formulate for you. And then you get purpose and direction. And you have this mantra that you say, you know, publicly, but it's also in your book. And we'll talk a little bit about that. 3 words: assignment, alignment, and adjustments. I want you to talk about that. Talk about the coach, that where you got it from. How did that help you? Because that's your mantra. And I believe that that has helped you to have the purpose and the direction that you needed for life.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, you know, there's different people that come into your life. God puts different people in your life. And for me, it was Coach Willie Shaw. And so he coached me with the New Orleans Saints. He was my second year. And Coach Shaw was a veteran NFL coach. He had a lot of success wherever he went. Like, he always would have guys got a lot of interceptions and, you know, had great careers and whatnot. And so my chance with him was in 1997. And he was our DB coach. And I remember, like, our first time meeting, it was during practice or mini camp, which typically happens right after the draft. And I know I had a new coach, and, you know, we went on in the field, we practiced, he talked a little bit, but it wasn't a whole bunch of words when we got into like our different periods, team periods and whatnot. He just kind of watched. And I remember, like, after practice, we was walking into the locker room, and I remember him saying, hey, 25, that's my number, 25, 25, come over here for a second. I said, okay. I ran over there and said, yeah, coach. He said, Alex, you want to play a long time in this league? I said, yeah, I want to play a long time, because I'm thinking, you play a long time, you get multiple contracts.
That's right.
You get multiple contracts. That's money, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, yeah, I want to play a long time. And he said, you got to understand these 3 things: assignment, alignment, and adjustment. He said, half the time, Alex, you're out there and you didn't know your assignment. I was like, what? Oh, I know no, beyond, you didn't know your assignment, like the whole play. Oh, okay, yeah, it must. And he said, if you want to play a long time, you want to have success, you got to know everybody else's assignment.
Wow.
So I got to dive deeper into the playbook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You need to know everybody's role, everybody's job. Okay, check. The second thing, he said, your alignment. Your alignment, you was 50-50. Sometimes you were supposed to align outside, you aligned inside. You're supposed to be at 3 yards off, you're 5 yards off. You're supposed to be 8 yards, you're at 5. You was misaligned half the time. He said, you're going up against some of the best athletes on earth. You can't give them any type of advantage. And half the time you're giving them advantage, you're beat before the ball is even snapped.
Wow.
You need to be aligned correctly every time. Be consistent. Okay, so be more mindful of where I line up at.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing, he said, adjustment. You need to be ready to adjust. It was like watching you adjust. It was like, man, you were late. You wasn't thinking ahead. He said, is that they don't just line up and hike the ball. They shift, they motion, they audible, they do all these things to try to get an advantage. You need to be ready to make adjustments. And so I followed that. I followed that mantra. Like, I remember that conversation. That happened over 20 years ago, that conversation. Wow. And I mean, I still, like, it was so foundational.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons I had an 8-year career instead of a 3.5, which is the average.
Okay.
It wasn't because I was fast. I wasn't running 4.32 when I was 30 years old.
Exactly.
And so for me, since that gave me so much success, on the field, I took that off the field.
Okay.
And I wish I would have learned how to do that sooner rather than later.